So today we're in Phoenix. It's about 105, but it's only the morning time. So I think it's gonna get up to 108. I'm with Tom Briney, who covers the West for Origin, as well as Dave Welk, who's flown in from the Charlotte office. And obviously I came in from Chicago. Really excited about Phoenix, growing city. Net added 40 to 50,000 people last year. Lots of new jobs. They're laying new train line, you can see here. They've set up a temporary memorial for 9/11, since it is 9/11 today, 17 years later. Arizona State University is a big driver here. They've expanded to over 70,000 students, and we're going to take a look at some projects both here, but also in the downtown core where they have 12,000 of their students now, office and multifamily. And then we're going to tour another multifamily later in the day, and potentially a recapitalization opportunity later.
That's Sun Devil Stadium where Arizona State plays too, right there. So you've obviously got...
And that's us running a red light.
It was yellow, it was pink.
It was
pink.
It was deep yellow.
Pull up the camera, we got footage. The northeast and the southwest of town are all surrounded by Native American tribal lands, which cannot be built on. So although it looks like there's a tremendous amount of land to build on, you can't actually build on it unless they ground lease it to you. They can't sell it, they'll ground lease. Any development you see is going to be commercial of some kind, because even with a ground lease, they're not allowed to build residential. So you get resorts, you get commercial, you get office buildings. The site that we're going up to see right now is a ground lease site. We had an opportunity to build spec office on it. Again, not resi, but numbers didn't pencil out. But there's now a value add opportunity in this same micro pocket, which I wasn't terribly interested at first until I heard what they're projecting as returns. So we'll see.
Tom, I'm rolling up my sleeves.
I like it, we're getting into it now.
Tomorrow, I'm wearing short sleeves. There's not a lot to do here, right?
No.
There's not like a bunch of capital to spend.
No.
So is it just you're buying a high cap rate, you're trying to lease it up?
Yeah, and so right now you're in the mid 70% occupied. You're not going to put a ton of money into it. You're going to kind of work with what you have here and lease it up to low 90s, right?
Yeah.
Kind of what's consistent with the rest of the park, and that's really where you're generating your return, is through lease up and cash flow. We are leaving Pima Center area right now. We're headed to a project that's on the market right now with CBRE. It's a multifamily deal that looks interesting. It's a light value add in a really high demographic, high barrier to entry location in McCormick Ranch.
So this is a multifamily we're touring in Phoenix today. Originally it was built in 1980. What we like about this asset is, if you look at the density, you've got office across the street, retail across the street, bars, restaurants, etc. This is in the high demographic of Phoenix, Scottsdale, and you've got really close access to the highway, to Highway 101. We just finished the tour. All in, I would say this asset is extraordinarily well located. Real barriers to entry, meaning you can't build multifamily in this neighborhood, which is positive. But on the negative side, I don't think this property is ever going to truly hit the demand set, which is a higher end consumer who wants really nice stuff. I really feel like this property is sort of destined to never achieve a high enough quality due to the limitations it has. So we're going to go next door now to tour a competitive site that's 14 years newer. But my hunch is this site has the bones, the actual ceiling heights, walls, amenities, even the exterior you can see with the Spanish tile roofs, much more interesting than what we have on the other side here. And when you drive up, you're going to feel visually much more that it's a home and a community than maybe this one.
We're not truly competing against these guys. Locationally competing, totally fine with that, but in terms of trying to compete on a finish level and a feel, we need to be below that.
So the 80s were all about racquetball courts that never get used. The 90s were all about
100%.
volleyball courts that never get used.
Top Gun did that to us.
Top Gun.
We're in the retail across the street from the subject property, which is substantially more extensive than we expected it to be when you just drive by, both in quality and quantity.
We talked a lot about where to eat, and my question was, who serves the biggest dishes? And I was told that this is buffet style, huge. I haven't eaten in 8 hours. Let's do this.
So we just wrapped up lunch. Dave is finally satisfied again. We are headed from central Scottsdale west over to North Phoenix, where we're going to look at a property that is a potential recap opportunity, meaning we're going to take out one partnership group and replace their position with new cash and continue a renovation process. So we're going to go check out now and see if the area is something that we're interested in.
We're in North Phoenix now. This is an example of an asset that we're trying to purchase for $80,000, $85,000 a unit. The last multifamily we're looking at was roughly 2.5 times that. It was more like $200,000 a unit. We have a lot of experience in this property type as well. We've done thousands of units in this demographic. So what you try to do here is when you rehab the units, you try to do it in a value-oriented way where you can provide a clean, safe place for the renter to live.
We just came from the property in North Phoenix. We're on Central Boulevard now, headed south towards downtown Phoenix. Central is kind of the dividing line between East and West Phoenix, running north and south all the way from downtown up to the north side of Phoenix. The deal is interesting for a couple of reasons. The first is the path of growth that it sits in right now. So as you mentioned, downtown, which is having a huge revitalization from Arizona State and some redevelopments that have occurred down there, and it's really moving up Central that we just drove down because of the light rail. And so we're at the north
Light
end.
rail is right here, right?
The light rail is right here, and you can see as a result of the light rail, you've got new construction multifamily right here and new construction across the street. So you're really in the path of growth right now.
We just finished our tour of the building. Big picture, we're 4 blocks from downtown Phoenix. There's clear growth in this direction. You can actually see right across the street is the new wrap multifamily rental. Just got built, the scaffolding's still up. Right across the rail on the other side is another wrap product. So clearly the city's growing this direction. This is a 35-year-old building, but we're also able to buy it at a good price, and we see a lot of problems that we've fixed in the past, and we think we can probably fix them here too. So we're going to roll up our sleeves on this deal. Tom's going to take a hard look at the numbers, and we'll get back to you if we make progress on it. And now we're going to the Smoothie King, because this camper right here needs to eat 5 meals a day, and I'm only on 2. Now we're going to say goodbye from Phoenix, and hopefully we shared a little bit about what we do on the road.